making consumers pay to test your unfinished product has never been done before by any other brand.
No.
That's insanity, especially as someone that touts themselves as a product developer.
Yeah.
This is your job, sweetie.
What does the future of Leak Labs hold?
We don't know.
But then we go on a dissertation of what Leak Labs is going to hold, saying that other brands can bring us their product innovations. Pissed me off.
I only dated men until I tried a woman, and boy was I surprised.
You need to be flexible.
So guys, even if you're not gay, just try dating a woman. You never know. Lady Gaga famously said, choose this way.
Like,
You may not realize that you're judged by the way that you look. Today, you can brush your way to sheer beauty. Let me show you how.
Well, hello. Didn't y'all just reach through that screen last week and smack us on the ass? Which was honestly good.
rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
So if you did not watch last week's episode, we mainly talked a lot about the Ulta Beauty World situation. I spilled a lot of tea on like what it was like to be on the Ulta Beauty Collective. And then we ended trying the launch from Leak Labs. So I would say that this is going to be part 2 of Leak Labs, but honestly, it's going to be part 1 because a lot of you guys were filling the comments from last week's episode saying like you were shocked by our like reaction to the products and our take, if you will, so on and so forth. We're going to get into all of what we think of Leak Labs now that both of us, you guys mentioned, a bunch of you guys mentioned Jen Love's videos, which one was out at the time, I think came out the same day ours did. And then she's since posted a second, plus all of our own research, etc. But as I said, I had no problem with it. I love that you guys were like pointing out your take and like even your take on our take. Only thing I wanted to really say like about last week was we recorded last Wednesday. I don't know what the date of that was. State of the Union video by them was not out when we filmed. You guys were mentioning that video and we were reading the comments the day of because I didn't even go on social media again after we had filmed. What's the State of the Union?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But especially when we filmed, they didn't post that State of the Union video. And going into that last Monday, heartbreakingly, I had to take Lenny to the vet because he had kennel cough and it was like scaring the shit out of me because he went to daycare 3 times and got kennel cough. And Casey was traveling, my husband was traveling for work even the Friday before all the way to that Wednesday. And I actually didn't get home till Thursday night because this flight was like, that was a nightmare.
Oh my God, that's
so
right.
I was alone with Lenny having kennel cough all week. Exhausted also about World War III that's about to start is the only content I was consuming on social media if I was on there. So going into filming last week, my main focus was Ulta Beauty World and me talking about my experience with the Ulta Beauty Collective. Mm-hmm. And I had said to you, I was like, if we're running short, you got the Leak Lab stuffs, bring it. And very rarely do I not show up here with like my professional makeup artist hat on. I didn't last week. I was exhausted from Lenny, exhausted from the State of the World, and that being a tag on at the end. And without that State of the Union, probably half the amount of context you guys had when you were watching the episode. For the last 10 minutes we filmed, it was like, it was nice to put something glittery on my face.
And we were just playing.
Playing with it.
The product,
and I know I had no context of the conversations about this going on behind the scenes. So to me, it was like, okay, they're charging $34, $40 for shipping for these 4 things. If you want it, you don't. If you do, it's glittery and it's cool to play with. Like that, that was the extent of my intellect that I could show up with last week and brought to the table. That was it. So then I think especially that the State of the Union came out 2 days after that, which you guys watched. And then I even saw people commenting saying that like our episode last week seemed like it was in response to Jen. I also need to say as well, I think a lot of people don't realize like if our video and Jen Love's video came out the same day, they were both filmed before that. We both filmed those videos without the knowledge of one another. They are literally,
and I think we need to reiterate.
This isn't live.
This isn't being filmed and posted all in the same day. Yeah. This isn't a quick, let's throw it up. We're not a news channel.
No.
This isn't like a live taping and we have a 7-second delay.
Yes.
And also like I will say based on the information that I knew some of the controversy based on like, what the people's take on the brand of like powder. This isn't worth it or this isn't that good or why is it this size or whatever.
Yeah.
And then diving in deeper, getting more information now. about I don't think I like comprehended the price of this and the messaging behind the brand, which I find more disturbing.
And speaking
or
volumes,
like the structure of the brand.
Even this, you figure I upload the episodes on Sunday. The State of the Union had come out 2 days before that, which I wasn't aware until you guys commented it on our video. If I had watched that State of the Union, I would have cut us even talking about it from the episode, because we both would have been like, we need to talk about this in a completely different manner. That's why neither you guys know we don't like put anything out that we're like completely ignorant to how it's going to be received. Like I would have been like, no, this isn't going to read based on what we now know. And I didn't even know anything before the State of the Union. But that being said, that's why I really did appreciate you guys like pointing it out the way you did. Some nicer than others, to the point, speaking volumes. Jen Love reached out to me on Instagram and was like, sorry, you're getting so much flack. Like, let me know if I can like do anything, because geez. Like, so that's some people were nicer than others, but nonetheless, I really do.
That's nice of her.
She's amazing. Like, so we would never make a bitchy response.
When I saw, and I was like, what? I was like, if anybody that we're friends with, which we'll get into that. I'm like, I would rather and 10 times over be friends with Jen Love.
Oh, God.
And that,
So I'm going to talk about every feeling I have about the Lipstick Lesbians, because I think it lends itself to even this launch. Well, and it lends itself to this launch, and it also is like the diametric opposite of this launch, which is so perplexing. But yeah, so that was basically just the catch up from last week. But they launched these flexi powders, I believe, as they're calling them. It was this powder that basically doesn't break. You can use it wet, you can use it dry, and it comes in the tin, 4 colors. I think as it launched, if I'm not mistaken, it sold out right away. And between then and the State of the Union, I think people were having the reaction of, based on Alexis's and Christina's videos before, during, and after, kind of pointing out, okay, this may be innovative, but who is this for? It's hard to use. It's not necessarily solving a problem. The price for what you're getting, pointing out all these things. So the grievances of customers or even people online who were reacting to it, it was a majority negative response. Cue them coming out with what they called the State of the Union.
The internet has spoken.
This is the first Leaked Labs State of the Union.
Why am I paying to have a product that's unfinished for me to test and give you feedback?
You're not paying for an unfinished good.
And you're not paying to do the work for us.
You're paying to participate in beauty's largest public focus group that's being documented.
Okay.
I want to just mention one thing that people have already talked about, the tone. And the way that you're speaking.
Why are you yelling at me? Yeah, it's confrontational.
Fix your face, because you both look so very like stone cold.
It's confrontational.
Because you're mad about
the way the feedback you asked for free was.
Correct. So it's just already the tone of like, this is what you signed up for is wicked.
Let us set the record straight. And I mean, in that sentence, I'm not understanding. You're saying you're not paying for an unfinished product, which it is unfinished because
it's not in marketable packaging.
It's finished for the lab, but it's not finished for the consumer. It's a lab sample.
Or
so it's an
like
unfinished retail product. It's a lab sample.
Because this is not like, if this, let's say in a perfect world where that does bother me, like you're saying, if this went to market and we kept it, they're saying that it wouldn't be like this.
Yes.
It would be in a different component. So it is unfinished. Yes. Technically. Like,
and it's a sample. It's a lab sample. That's a whole
other.
If what we're saying is that a retail product in a brand is what defines finished, that is unfinished. That's not a finished
and if you're admitting
product.
This isn't how it's going to be delivered in the finished state, then this means that it's...
So you mean
what does this mean?
There's going to be more work to be done. And we're not asking you to do the work for us. We're asking you to pay ... to do the work for us. To tell us...
To pay full retail
for a lab sample. And you're asking us to pay. We're not asking you to do the work for us, but you're a part of the biggest focus group doing the work for us.
And then you're paying to be in that, which I have oh my God.
So
I have so many
that
thoughts.
right there is already
yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah. I'll share my thoughts after.
Or we launch them to make sure they're ready for consumers' hands.
We might even be testing them right now.
When manufacturers present products to brands and then brands take it and develop them further, these products are finished. It's just brands take it a step further with longer lead times to make it tailored to them.
Okay, point A, I just want to point out, stop trying to sell us the next part of it right here and now. The first time you smile in the video is when you say we're testing it right now to make whether it's the lip, but you know what? Don't try and sell me on a lip or cheek product in the middle of trying to explain the discourse right now.
And I think this, and I'm
sorry.
No, not at all. We're going to touch on, I'm planning on touching on this later, just about kind of what has happened with the ecosystem around them in the past, year and a half, in my opinion. Someone needs to say to them, or I'm sure they are seeing it, but they really need to hear, and I'm coming from a kind place. The word salad is coming across condescending. To say it is finished when labs give products to brands, they are finished, but then the brand takes more lead time. We don't know what lead time means. So it's this condescending, the more big insider words we throw, the more credibility you think it gives you. And at this point, it's what is happening in the United States. We are so distrustful of our government that at this point, if there was ever an attack on US soil, we know it's you. We know the call is coming from inside the house. You've lost that much credibility that doubling down on, I think, what got you your platform by just throwing out these buzzword, word salad jargons is coming across at this point condescending. And even saying there's more lead times to what? Tailor that finished, semi-finished product from the lab to the brand. Other brands then take more lead times, whatever that means, to, drumroll, tailor it to their consumer.
Put it in packaging that's
You're
finished.
not doing that and asking us to pay to tell you what needs to be done to rebuy it again if and when you do make it permanent and do that.
At a higher price point. Because if this is $34 for this, if this is $34, what are you charging them? Because you're not going to give us all four probably. You're going to sell them individually.
Exactly.
And if you do sell it in all four, if it's like a whatever kind of situation, what's that price going to be, like double?
I know.
What we're doing is we're expediting that cycle and giving you the finished good that's presented by the manufacturer to your hands. But rest assured, Leak Labs products are safe to use, pass all cosmetics and regulatory testing, ready for launch, and hygienic to you.
Of course they are, because the lab did their job. So here's my thing. The only one who didn't do their job in this launch is the Lipstick Lesbians. I get that you were probably in the lab saying a little more sparkle here, a little bit louder now, a little bit I'm sure you were. And moreover, which we will get to, you say later in this, which is the worst part of this video. We know this product, you did not create Flexi Powder. This almost was launched by multiple other brands who those brands deemed it useless to launch because of the cons people are pointing it out to you. So you didn't invent Flexi Powder. You went to a lab, said, wow, they
probably presented it to you.
Show us what you got that's never been on the market.
Yeah, exactly.
They showed you this. You tweaked, I'm sure, the colors and the amount of pearl. Good job. Then they finished and did their job. You put the bare minimum in an unhygienic tin, charged us to be a free focus group. So we and the lab did more work than you put together.
And the fact that we're saying that it's safe and hygienic to use, which have we tested the component that this is in that after now? Because I'm not going to lie.
Oh, the product day that might be, but the packaging certainly isn't.
Because baby, the day that we were in here and I got home with this, and I even put like a little bit of tissue in here, which might have been on camera.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the moisture collecting when I sealed this.
Trapped in the tin.
That I'm like, if I don't open this for 2 weeks, it's a petri dish.
Did you not? I'm almost wondering, girl.
I took the tissue out, but it was like a used makeup wipe.
Now, yeah. Because you really have barely opened it since we filmed 2 weeks ago. And that's what I mean, girl. We don't know what invisible things are growing on her.
And I don't know.
Or in the tin, really, is the problem. Which also, as well, I want to point out, because in Kevin last week was saying as well, both of us kind of didn't clock this because, again, neither of us knew what people were getting when they ordered it because Jen hadn't posted her video. We hadn't seen, neither of us watched any videos of people who bought it from the website get it.
Yeah.
So when Kevin got the PR package, it came with a palette for all 4 of them and a spatula.
I brought it with me.
Yeah.
This
Kevin
was in
thought
the box.
that's what you were getting when you ordered that. So that wasn't the only thing you were storing them in.
And
so we were also judging the hygiene, if you will, from the standpoint of, okay, you put them on the pallet, you can let them dry out on the pallet, you can spray alcohol on the products on the pallet, let it dry out, and then put it back in the tin. As far as the hygiene goes, not realizing people who bought it from the website were just getting the tin.
They were getting mailed a box, and this is the only thing in there.
Yeah.
There was no application technique. Because even I'll say this Amazon.com
honey, bare minimum everything.
No name that's fine.
Yeah.
But at least like there's a way you could probably get these mass produced and put them, especially because this was such a limited launch that you couldn't give everybody a palette and like a little more of like an artistry tool for $34.
Yes.
You're blowing my mind here. Telling me that these little 4 discs are worth $34 plus shipping, which I watched Jen Loves, came to $40.
Yeah.
And so when I opened up the box, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, wow. And not realizing until I started watching, liking, saving all these other unboxings, and people were just like,
yes.
What do I...
Girl, these little dried out nipple covers in a tin. Are you enjoying Beautiful and Bothered? Not feeling so fresh? You should subscribe to the Beyond Bothered Patreon, where we'll freshen you right up. We will. We'll freshen your makeup up. If you guys like Beautiful and Bothered, whether you've been a fan since the beginning or you're new here, make sure to check out the Beyond Bothered Patreon. It's like a whole nother world over there where you guys get after shows every single Wednesday of the month where we talk about everything from Overflow from here. We open PR in real time. We talk about our first kiss.
We talk about everything that doesn't make it into the episodes that sometimes we want to talk about, but for time's sake, we can't.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about, when we get heated about our favorite TV shows that we're watching at the moment.
And let's just say maybe the tea's a little spicier every now and again because we don't have to worry about the people we're talking shit about watching it. So there's that. So there's after shows every single Wednesday. And then the last Wednesday of the month is a full bonus episode. So full length bonus episode. And then with the beauty tier, you guys get all of the podcast stuff plus beauty videos every single week with, at the end of the month, a full beauty tutorial, like over 2 hours, that is anything from us doing new makeup to answering your questions about skincare and makeup and hair care in real time. It's just so beyond worth it over there.
Beyond worth it.
Beyond worth it. If you head over there right now, you will have enough content to last you probably 6 months.
All exclusive content. So this content gets posted nowhere else. This is just for you when you go into those tiers. So enjoy it.
So check out the link in the description box to head over to the Beyond Bothered Patreon and start having some fun, girl. Ooh.
Shocked. In tears. Almost.
The preservative system is there for a reason, to make sure it's safe for you to use.
So what does the future of leaked hold?
The truth is that no one really knows what the future of Leaked Labs is going to hold, including us.
We're going to rescue products that deserve the spotlight. We're going to give them the platform to be seen. And we're going to also develop some of what we feel to be the best-in-class innovations that are yet to hit the market. But at the end of the day, we're going to do so alongside you with the curtain peeled back fully this time. This is a space for collaboration.
I got a question.
With the curtain peeled back fully this time, because it wasn't before. So it wasn't for this.
I got a question. What does the future of Leak Labs hold?
We don't know.
We don't know? But then we go on a dissertation of what Leak Labs is going to hold.
We'll get into that, because I really need admission.
Because I think actually the next part of this is what, when I watch this, the next part is what pisses me off the most. That also leads into the other point that we made previously. And I'm just going to, we're about to get there, of saying that other brands can bring us their product innovations. Pissed me off.
Furious.
Because NARS, let's say, because we're going to eat NARS' ass because we used to work for them, apparently. She said it. No. She used to work there. What?
I want to be so tea. Remember when we had a cut from their interview?
Why don't we just say it? What are we holding back from? And listen, we're acquaintances, if anything.
Let's also address that, honey baby, because I think as well, reading.
Are we? Oh, we're really going there.
And the only reason I even kind of gave the debrief in the beginning about like Lenny and being exhausted and like we just honestly, that was not the focus of last week's episode. We did not understand the discourse. This was not released. Jen Love's video was released the same day, so we filmed
didn't
before
watch that until all of this was happening.
And then I think it's good to be discerning with people in general, but I think if you're new here, maybe you don't know, but if you've been around for a while, like everything is not coming from a nefarious place. It's not, ooh, the Lipstick Lesbians check cleared. Let's say, like, that doesn't happen. And B, people saying we were friends with them. I've been in a physical room with them 3 times. One brand event, one sleepover brand trip with Rare Beauty, and then when we recorded with them in the studio. Since then, have not spoken. Which, when did that episode come out? Over a year ago.
And I'm not kidding.
We're not friends. We're not friends. We're people who do the same job who've met each other 3 times. We're colleagues. That's it. But we're not friends with each other that either of us would hold back our opinion. Felt obligated to
give a
say
good,
we liked that.
Yeah. And listen, I think it was almost like when we sometimes how I equated it, because when I rewatched the episode and I was watching us do this, I was laughing knowing how we are. It felt like in the moment it was like a purchase or pass where one of us wasn't grounding the other person in the moment of what it was.
And that's why I kind of thought it was funny when you guys were commenting the way you were, because it felt like what normally one of us does to the other one.
Exactly.
Where neither of us did it and you guys did it.
And I think there was also something to that where I said in the episode that I didn't try these products. I still to this day have not swatched them or put them on myself.
Yeah.
Which is, I brought these home and I threw them in a drawer.
Yes.
I was like, I'm not thinking about it and realizing that I still have not swatched these, and I was just looking at it and I'm being, accused that we're doing the influencer ooh and on to get our paycheck. Baby,
honey,
y'all should know by now.
Come on, me saying I basically got kicked off the Ulta Beauty Collective for being too honest, which is exactly what happened. Girl.
But anyway, so I mean,
going back to this now,
the brand.
This you're right was when my blood boiled.
This is a space for collaboration. This is an invitation to all brands out there that aren't sure about an innovation. If they so choose, maybe they can link it with our lab.
Is Flexi a gimmick?
Historically, when innovations launch, many people don't understand them and they need a lot of explanation.
If you want this product to be used the way you've used all your other powder products, is it really innovative? It's really just a question of, is it worth it to explore?
And ultimately, the question of whether or not Flexi is a gimmick is really up to you to decide.
My head hurts. That is wicked.
Saying that people don't understand innovation is crazy.
I'm not understanding. Even other brands who are unsure if they want to launch something can send it to us to charge you to try it and let us/them know if it should go to market. So are Alexis and Christina in the business of what? Saving L'Oreal a couple extra dollars? Why are we paying to test to see if Urban Decay should launch something?
Because honestly,
we shouldn't even be doing that for you. And now you're saying you're going to outsource this horrible plan to even other brands?
What I don't understand is that so they're acting as if the leaked labs are the middlemen of this consumer product brand ratio, whatever's going on here. When Fenty Beauty was, before they debuted a new product, I knew someone that got the cream bronzer or the powder bronzer, one of them, whatever one came out first.
Yeah.
They were sent them unmarked lab samples to say, give us your feedback. That person didn't have to pay for that.
Yes.
In not the finished packaging.
Yes.
They got it in an unmarked kind of generic packaging and said, try this out, wear it for at least 2-3 weeks. Let us know what you think of the bronzers. What can we do? Color, formula, whatever, etc.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same thing, but now we're paying full retail price because I'm sorry, $34 still. And the fact that
I have a price breakdown of a product that is incredibly similar to this that shows the difference.
The amount of things that I found, even like someone did a comparison of like even just formulation of like the about face, the cooling.
That's what I have the breakdown for.
Okay.
Yeah. Then for you to stand here and say whether this is a gimmick is up to you. And I guess I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say, like, are you approaching that sentence from a standpoint of like, you ain't coming for my peace, like my peace and serenity? Like if you don't like it, you don't like it. And that's
But we still got your money.
Like, if you think it's a gimmick, there's nothing we can do about that. That's not how this is coming across. My thing here is, in this entire video so far, what is your role? What is your role? It almost seems like you're the two volunteers in a group project in college that get to go into the lab and point at the existing product that other people passed on and then leave. But you're making all the money, doing the bare minimum with the packaging, not even considering the packaging when it comes to the product. And maybe you would in the final thing, but that's not for your consumers to pay to tell you. And even to piggyback on what you just said, think about incentivized reviews. Go to Sephora and Ulta. 99% of the review on any product is an incentivized review, meaning the brand sent the finished, the product,
the retail product,
launching, to people for them to try in exchange for just a review, in exchange for feedback. They didn't have to pay, and they at least even got a free product out of it. So if they didn't like it, they didn't lose any money, and they get to be honest and say that their product, they didn't like it.
Yeah.
There's no other scenario where a consumer should be paying to tell you, the brand, if the product is worth launching it. And to guise it all behind this arrogant, misleading message of, well, we're bringing you in on the experience. No. You're making us pay to be in on the experience, and you're profiting. Then send it to us for free.
Everyone.
Then if this was sent to people for free, this entire conversation would have been different. Then you got feedback, and then you charged it. But you making consumers pay to test your unfinished product, safe but unfinished product, has never been done before by any other brand.
No.
That's insanity.
And then, because
especially as someone that touts themselves as a product developer.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
So if you're being asked,
this is your job, sweetie.
Yeah. And if you're asking us, is it a gimmick? It's up to you. No, answer the question. Do you think this is a gimmick?
Yeah.
Because and clearly I feel like the answer is
yes.
They don't think it is. But then if you don't think it's a gimmick, then maybe why not just launch it in a full-fledged experience of a product and do it in a limited release and put it in actual packaging and then charge the $34 for all 4 shades individually, whatever it might be. Because
for Alexis to use the word focus group, you're a part of the biggest focus group in the makeup community. That's being focus groups are either paid or free at the very minimum. So this isn't a focus group.
Like, I've been offered to be in focus groups that at least pay, I think it was like $200 a day, because it's an all-day study.
And I don't have it saved, but if I'm not mistaken, before this product launched, they posted a video of a bunch of influencers sitting around a boardroom table trying the product. So wasn't that a focus group? You had a video of a bunch of people sitting around, that I recognize them, sitting around a big boardroom table trying the product and explaining it to them.
I didn't see that.
So wasn't that a focus group? But again, I think this is the problem. The problem is in this industry is everyone is so afraid of not blowing smoke up one another's ass. And I'm also going to say, I don't even blame the people who were maybe even invited to that, because I think, and I'm going to get into it later, I think they have a very good way of, look over there, of smoke and mirrors convincing people about things by almost waterboarding them with word salad to the point that by the end of it, you're like, yeah, I guess it's got, yeah, okay, I'll try it, whatever. Because you don't even know.
It's the door-to-door salesman that confuses you into buying a new vacuum.
That's what I mean, babe.
Yeah.
Like, so that's where, and was that even presented as a focus group where those people were asked to be honest about it? Or were they just almost invited to like a launch party where you got to put it, like, it's, yeah. This is insanity.
The selfie camera was actually seen as a narcissistic gimmick when it first launched. And look at it now.
And the fact that they had to put in modern technology after the fact up in the corner.
Yeah. And no, it wasn't. The selfie camera was not a narcissist. Jen Love put it perfectly. Throwed up pictures of her on her digital camera she took of herself in the 90s. Yeah. That existed. Selfies existed before a selfie camera.
And people she made the point.
Selfies with any camera. It was people saying that posting a selfie to the internet was narcissistic.
And she made the amazing point in that same video that iPhones and other camera phones were not charging us extra to test out the selfie camera feature. It was part of the phone. It was a new feature on the phone that we did not pay extra for. We paid for the phone and got this other new feature.
And I don't understand how they don't see that this messaging of where even that right there, using that equation of it to a selfie camera, not only is it inaccurate, but comparing this to a selfie camera, whatever that means.
A selfie camera.
Comparing
like,
it to
what?
that. And the message, the subtext, again, the condescending subtext is people felt this way about that, parentheses, no, they didn't. But now look at it. So just like that, this is something you all don't understand, but will learn to value as much as the selfie camera. Again, it's the condescension of we're smarter than you. We know this is going to be like the selfie camera. And you guys are just doubting it the same way people did back then, which didn't even happen. So, but even if you used a better analogy, that's still condescending because you're not saying the critiques are valid, that you're misunderstanding us. You're misunderstanding the product.
Lastly, we've come to understand we've solved one of your biggest pain points. Flexi is unbreakable.
That screenshot is infuriating. We solved one of your biggest pain points. It's unflexible. Again, Jen Love perfectly pointed unbreakable. Kimmy Schmidt.
Unbreakable.
I want to make that intro overlaid with
doing
just
this. Unbreakable. And it's how everything was repeating. And just,
girl.
Not unrippable.
Girl.
Oh, but they say that too.
I think I've broken 4 powders in my lifetime. I wouldn't call that a pain point. And mind you, how many other products do what this does that all liquid eyeshadows, cream eyeshadows, pot eyeshadows, stick eyeshadows, Bust, Another Club. None of those break as well.
Yeah.
Who knows if Amplify Flexi Powder will influence the future of what powder products look like.
It won't.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Won't we? Take
Powder
me, for
products.
example. I only dated men until I tried a woman, and boy, was I surprised.
You need to be flexible.
So guys, even if you're not gay, just try dating a woman. You never know. As Lady Gaga famously said, choose this way.
Like,
I can't. That is, I always say it, the amount of people, like the Michaelas, them, because they're making just as much, trust me. Where's the PR team? Where's the PR team?
And maybe this isn't the time to be funny. Maybe this isn't the time to crack a f***ing joke. Taking selfies and then saying, try being gay.
I don't, it's just baffling to me. I don't
know.
So again, I think my point. So some of the notes I wrote, mission statement. So this is the big question. What is Leaked Labs? What is the mission statement? And from your State of the Union, I gathered we're going to make the consumers pay for samples of products from labs that other brands passed on so you can tell us what's wrong with it.
Or what's good.
That's actually mind-blowing to me that you think that that's not highway robbery. Yeah. Highway robbery. If you really break it down, it's one of the most nefarious things I've heard of. Based on what I've done in my life, what I've then achieved on social media, the new platforms I've gotten, we have access to labs. We know where labs are. We can go to labs. We're going to do the bare minimum of point to a product that another brand passed on, or like they said, hey, even if another multi-billion-dollar brand is unsure about a product, they can use our services, like the mob. Come to us. We'll make the idiots pay for it, and they'll tell you what's wrong or what's good about it.
And then fix it, and then you get to charge a premium.
That's what you're using your platform for? What also baffles me is the fundamental absence of you, Alexis, the product developer, developing a product. You're pointing at a pre-existing product off the shelf, yes, with 1 or 2 tweaks of color and pearl amount, and then asking us pay to cosplay as a product developer. That's a brand founded by a product developer. Imagine if I launched a brand that of drinks. I go, give me that formula. I taste it. I think it's good. But there's glaring issues. 70 other brands passed on this drink because it could either, who knows what it's going to do. It's inconvenient. It spills, stains your lips, whatever the case may be. Pay me to drink it, to tell me all the cons. I make money off that. And then I change those things and sell it back to you again.
At a different price.
At a higher price.
And that's the other thing that really kind of irked me about the price of it, that this should have, if this was like $5, $10. No, I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if this was like $5 or $10, it's kind of like, okay, all right. It was $5, $10,
exactly.
whatever.
You feel like you're getting,
At least it's like,
it should have been $5 to pay for the shipping. It should have been the cost of the shipping.
Right.
They should not have profited off of using their fan base
exactly
as guinea pigs.
Yeah. Lab rats. The leaked lab rats.
Girl.
Screaming.
Because then you look at it, if this model, if you're going to defend what you're doing in this model, what's to stop Sephora from charging you for a sample of a foundation? I want to try this foundation. Okay, that'll be $5. For you to take this sample and you to pay to go home and decide whether you like it. And then come back and do the product. Yeah. That's what you're doing. That would be insane.
Yeah.
And you're exploiting people's passion for makeup. You're looking at them and going, so obviously it's sold out. So obviously people did want to be a part of this and try it. So to them, I say, okay, they were willing to do it.
Yeah.
I can't say wholeheartedly that I think people knew the full scope of what they were getting into before they bought it.
Agreed.
As they said, because now the curtain's going to fully be pulled back. I thought it should have been before this happened. That doesn't negate criticism from other people who look at this model without buying the product and go, I didn't buy it. I didn't even get the PR package. I didn't answer the email to get it sent to me. That doesn't negate someone criticizing the business model. I also have a problem with unethical things from other companies as well. This, to me, is unethical. I can't say enough, too. It baffles my mind that the process was so easy as far as the pointing out an existing product, barely tweaking colors in Pearl. And then when it came to everything else, it was the least amount of effort possible. In a tin can, sticker, 1 cent bag, 1 cent pallet, only sent to the PR packages, just the lowest possible cost possible to charge $40 and rake in the money.
I will say, and the experience that I had opening the PR, which people made a really good point, is that if I didn't get this in PR, would I feel the same way? Would I have bought this? Absolutely not.
Absolutely. And I don't think we were thinking of it from that mindset last week. It was, here's something fell on the floor, put it on. Okay.
Because my experience opening the PR, I told you, this box was huge.
Yeah.
And opening it, it was an experience. There was like the peeling off of the thing. It felt more like it was an experience opening this box and seeing all these different things and even how it was all packaged. In my head, I was like, oh, this is the PR box. But I'm assuming the PR box would have been what was sent in some way, shape, or form on maybe a scaled down version, but at least the same kind of idea. The fact that it literally just came floating and landed in someone's lap like this,
I know,
is crazy. The way that I wish I took a video of how this box was presented. I was like, oh, this is like a really cool, well thought out idea.
Yeah.
In a million years, if I saw that price point, even if I was curious, I would have been like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Thinking it also came with the palette and the spatula, like something to put it on. Because for $40, you would think that, like I said, the 50-cent spatula and the 50-cent palette would have been the case. Yeah. And another thing I want to point out too, kind of pivoting into the conversation about them in general, is I love Javon Ford is another product developer that is very big on social media. I love him. And he, doesn't talk with the jargon and the slogan and the word salad, but was a great take.
I've had a few people ask me about the Leak Labs Flexi Powder, so here are my thoughts. But first, I want to say that the product actually is innovative because I've seen a few comments try to discount the innovation because at the end of the day, it performs like a regular eyeshadow once it's blended out. But innovation comes in different forms. It can just be a unique texture or a new way of using the product. But just because something is innovative doesn't mean it's the most practical. There is a learning curve to the Flexi Powder in order to apply it correctly and get a good amount of coverage without it looking patchy. Because of that, I don't see this as a product suitable for people who are just casual makeup fans, or for makeup artists, because the discs are so small, it's hard to clean between uses if you wanted to spray it with some 70% isopropyl alcohol, or scrape off the top so there's a fresh layer underneath. But for like a casual makeup user, I don't think you have to worry about contamination, assuming you let each disc dry before adding it back to the tin. Because no amount of preservation can make up for moisture collecting in an enclosed space. Now, do I think this product should be scaled up for full-fledged launch? No, because I don't think the market is big enough for something as unique as this. But I am excited to see what they have next on the pipeline because we can always use more innovation in this space.
Yeah, and that's where I was even saying last week, the innovation of it. This is an innovative product in the sense that we have never gotten on the market, which I don't even know if we really say we fully have gotten it on the market. We've got it like 0.5 on the market in a weird test lab rat scenario. Is innovative in the sense that it's a new texture we've never felt with what this does. However, it is also important to point out the Lipstick Lesbians, did not innovate this. It was a rejected product by other brands that they said we're, quote, which I heard this, brave enough to rescue off the dusty shelves of a lab and make you pay for it. That's you did not innovate. So frankly, the only thing I'll disagree with is I am not excited to see what they have next if it's this again.
If it's rejected formulas that they are
rescuing another brave pick of a rejected formula, let alone a formula from another brand, that's sickening. That makes my blood boil. Let's save L'Oreal and Estee Lauder some money and make you pay.
They're nervous to come out with a new concealer, so we're going to do it.
And make you pay to try it. Like, they pinned comment on the State of the Union since it came out. The Lipstick Lesbian said, "Hey everyone, firstly, we see and we hear you, and we are genuinely sorry this video missed the mark on tone. It was certainly not our intention at all. In the spirit of honesty and transparency, we will make a video to address some reoccurring concerns we're seeing in these comment sections. But it's currently a bit difficult because we are traveling. Please know you are heard and we will respond soon. In the meantime, sending love always." I don't know, because I get in the spirit of honesty and transparency, which you already weren't, we will make a video addressing some reoccurring concerns. Mark my words, I'll put $50 on it. It's going to be confrontational videos of you're using it wrong. It's going to be, let me tell you, this is how you feel. Well, no, you're wrong. This is actually how it needs to be done.
The State of the Union wasn't the response video to
That's what I mean. Wasn't that a response to that? No, this is on the State of the Union video. So
what was the State of the Union video?
Exactly. Was them defending
I don't understand
the criticism. And the irony of it is to be so defensive about the criticism, going back to the disjointed, horrendous business model, apparently, of this brand, which is, quote, we're going to make you pay for samples of products other brands passed on for you to tell us what you do and do not like about it. If that's the brand statement, if you're going to say that with your chest, 90% of the response to this product was negative, and you're pissed off about it. Oh, I wanted to throw up as well because you mentioned it. So the Leak Lab Flexi Powders, we have $34 for I wonder if 0.07 ounces is one or all four.
So this is saying net weight of, I'm assuming the entire product is 2 grams, 0.07 ounces.
So is that all four?
Yeah.
So for all, I thought that would number was going to be divided by 4. Because Jen Love's
video, when she weighed them in that initial video, it was like
even less than 0.7.
Because I think all the 2 grams, including the packaging.
Yeah, girl.
Like, probably. I mean, whether or not you get 2 grams of product.
2 grams.
So that's 0.07 ounces.
Oh, yeah. So then for 0.07 ounces for $34, and then you take the About Face Cooling Chromes, which I'll swatch here, for 0.31. So more than 4 times the amount.
In one.
For one color.
Which that's 4 colors.
That's 4 colors. So yes, you're getting 4 colors, but that's not worth. I'd rather have 4 times the amount of one color based on the way they perform.
Yes.
Because I think the About Face cooling sticks perform better. They're hygienic, more easily cleaned, user-friendly, designed with every other element Leak Labs didn't put any effort into.
We don't have to wet them. It's like a ready to use product.
It's a bronzer stick. It's a foundation stick. Screw off the top, put it on your eye. There you go. If you need to, a makeup artist needs to clean it, alcohol, boom, 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 take it down. You can even take a layer off, keep going. I wanted to go into as well, I think to me, again, if you're on our Patreon, we addressed this in the Hot Ones episode. We were asked, like, what are your thoughts on the leak labs, on the Lipstick Lesbians? And we said it then. I think in the beginning, it was super awesome to have someone who like actually flipped the packaging over and was talking about things in a way that we didn't know as far as ingredients and performance and so on and so forth. But I think there was a shelf life on that where now, at least in my opinion, in the past year and a half, we're running out of ways to describe the same things. And we are word salading, overcomplicating, and we've run out of adjectives. It's like what I said when I worked at Out Magazine and I had to describe like 6 different travel bags. You run out of adjectives to describe the same shit. So we're almost, it's getting to the point that we're using nonsense terms, like calling the doe foot of a concealer a feminine doe foot. And that's what happens in the videos. We just get waterboarded with these unnecessary filler adjectives to inflate authority.
And taking a concealer stick going down your arm. No kidding. The pigment is going to keep going down your arm because it's a stick.
Honey.
No, it's not showing off the product. And you dragging it down, a stick down your arm. I sure hope it doesn't run out of steam if it's a stick.
I literally
The stick has pigment until the very end, baby. Are you just going to keep going around your body?
You're exactly right. And I think in that video and it's a paid partnership with the Milk Sticks, to me, so much of it goes to the sense of smoke and mirrors, where it is, I've never seen a stick concealer look at the glide all the way down the arm. I own 6 stick cream concealers that I could glide all the way down my arm.
Even if they're bad.
That has nothing to do with the performance of the product, but it is bells and whistles and smoke and mirrors. Like if I'm doing a review on the setting spray and I just start it by going, never has a setting spray fit up my hole so well.
Or like, it's like taking a setting spray and cupping it in your hand and clapping it out. It doesn't mean anything. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
Absolutely.
The shock value of like, look at the setting spray and then clapping it and watching it go all over.
Never has a setting spray wiggled in my hand like that.
What is that?
That has nothing to do with performance because later in that video, she is then talking about the glide it has under the eye and how this Milk Stick doesn't do that. When you watch her do it under the eye, it pulls her entire eye. It's arguably one of the driest sticks I've ever seen, and that was one of the worst concealer launches in the past year. Anything she bolstered about it did not speak to its actual performance. It was draggy under the eye. It did crease. It settled in all the lines. It couldn't even cover an acne scar because it was separating. The milky, creamy texture of it was going off, let alone the shade range was appalling. Everyone was yellow. I was looking up the new Morphe setting spray. They did a paid ad for it. I looked up the ingredients in this compared to every other setting spray on the market. There are 2 ingredients in this that are incredibly unique to setting sprays that are in no other setting spray, believe it or not. It is, I believe, the polyglycerin 3 and Baccausia something leaf extract. Okay, polyglycerin 3 is different than regular glycerin because it will draw moisture to the skin, basically making this look and feel more hydrating. And then the Baccausia is going to give you that same L'Oreal setting spray without this. It's going to be less sticky. So this is going to be less sticky. Were either of those things talked about in the video? No. What did we do? And this is my problem. And I think she might have mentioned just by feeling it that it's maybe not as sticky as other ones. But the other 95% of the video was what? Breaking this open and telling us all about the bag that's in here and how the bag takes the product from here instead of here. So that's why it doesn't need to have the butane to make it like one size and the whole 9 yards. Just make you think that this is something so innovative. What you talked about is not a reason to buy it.
Right.
The 2 ingredients that are in no other one, because if you took out those 2 ingredients in this Morphe setting spray, despite if it was in the can, loose, in a bag, with butane, or in a ball sack, it would be exactly the same as every other setting spray. But they made 2 individual ingredients in this that are very rarely in. I think the only other one that has the leaf is like some Laura Mercier one. That's the talking point. But your go-to is to try to point out something to flex your own intelligence over the actual necessity or practical use for the customer. And that is completely reflected in this launch. You do not consider the user's use or need. The priority is always getting across my intelligence. The word salad nonsense to assert my position as this, how much knowledge I have of product developing. And that to me is, I think people are getting fatigue because at this point, it's in the beginning, we didn't know what you were saying, Diva. We were like, okay, you work, girl. You know. Now, especially after this, even this video.
Welcome to Product Development School by the Lipstick Lesbian.
Woo! Episode 1.
We have the full 25 shades of the Milk Hydro Grip Gel Concealer. Lightest, darkest. I'm going to show you how we read these colors as product developers. How
read
you
the
can see the colors and how you can shade match for yourself by counting inside the lineup to begin to understand where to find your tone. And this is the kind of thing we do in L-Lab. L-Lab's our masterclass, our digital course. Let's get into it.
Okay, so watch this video. This is a product development masterclass. You're going to learn how to read the colors, again, whatever that means, understand the undertone, which is the same as reading the colors, just synonyms, and pick your shade.
I think people are...
A Sephora employee can do that.
So, but again, this is where we need to make you feel stupid.
And I'm going to, and overcomplicating something to assert this intelligence.
There are 25 shades. I happen to be shade 4.5. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am the 7th shade in the assortment. Just because I'm shade 4.5, chances are in the vast majority of concealer assortments, if they're 20 plus, you're gonna be plus or minus 3 shades in that window. Use this to guide your shade decisions and swatch those 3 or...
You're just telling us in the range that
that was an incredibly bloviating way to say, if the concealer range has 20 or more, whatever your shade is, you can use 3 to the right and 3 to the left, which no, you can't.
Oh, I thought they were saying in any other formulation. I'm so confused.
So let me say, the fact that you are a makeup artist of 12 years and do not understand what she is saying, this is what we mean. What are you talking about?
I actually don't know what she just fucking said.
7th shade in the assortment.
Okay.
Just because I'm shade 4.5, chances are in the vast majority of concealer assortments, if they're 20 plus, you're gonna be plus or minus 3 shades in that window.
Any shade range of concealer that's 20 or more,
if I have my shade,
you're 5 out of 20,
3 this way and 3 this way,
you can use 3 this way and 3 this way. First of all, what are you talking about? Even if there is... How many concealer launches have launched with 20 plus shades where only the last 2 can work on women of color? What if you're the third from the last and it's exactly perfect for you, but then the next 2, like most brands do, jump up 6 shades and then 6 shades, they can use that shade?
So are they saying that you can use that as like a bronzer?
Yeah, you could go lighter for concealer or darker for this. No, not bronzer, just you could use... We don't even know. We don't know. And let me also say this, because I really want to come at this from a standpoint of, even if they're watching this video, which they're probably not, but not that it's their fault because the industry has rewarded it. I do kind of resent this assertion that her as a product developer makes her so much more knowledgeable about makeup than makeup artists. Just because you make it doesn't mean you know how to use it.
Well, and they didn't make anything. I know what you're saying. Even when it comes to her makeup. Just because you made it doesn't mean you know how to use it. And this launch has proved you don't know how a product needs to be made to be used. You're making for the sake of making. Even if it quite literally can't be used. Or is uncomfortable or bad or unhygienic or pointless to use. And the amount of credit they get, the Allure articles and the Vogue articles, even if this is done in a product development lab where they're all standing there using the words, instead of range, we have to call it assortment.
So just all the synonyms.
Yeah.
And go, if you use this, you can, the rule of thumb
plus
is you
3
can,
minus 3.
Plus 3 minus 3. First of all, that's conducive to what you're working on. That doesn't work for every line of concealer, even if it's 20 or more. And it speaks to what we and any other makeup artist watching knows as makeup artists that actually have to use the product. Our biggest enemy is the product developer that thinks they know how to use it. How many products have we tested because we know how to use it in our life and said this misses the mark because the product developer was consumed with this kind of
ideology
nonsense opposed to the practical application. Because then even in this video, I'll spare you, we go on to swatch every single color and talk about all she does is swatch the color on her arms, talk about which one has a yellow undertone and which one has a red and which one has a pink.
Which also blows my mind that if you're an undertone +3, -3, all of those undertones
are going to work for you?
You can't be using olive, cool, and neutral all in the same skin tone. That's gonna one of them, if not two of them, in that 3 are gonna look weird. So, and then the other 3, I don't understand.
And the point of this video was literally her just watching every single shade, saying whether it had an olive, a cool, a warm, or a red undertone.
Amazing.
So we're gonna take you to product development school. The knowledge that was imparted, here's the shade range. You can use 3 above and 3 below, which is untrue. And here's all the color swatched on my arm in the undertones. I could walk into Sephora and throw my shoe and hit an employee who could do the same. But you are acting like this is the knowledge you need to impart because your audience can't. It's condescending. Even this.
Rare Beauty Warm Wishes Soft. That's a long one. Soft matte powder bronzer. Jesus.
That's 5 times fast.
Warm Wishes Soft Matte Powder Bronzer. The number one thing that's going to attract me to want to try this bronzer is that laurel lysine is in it as a second ingredient. Laurel lysine is my favorite oil controlling blurring powder.
Should I pull out ChatGPT right now and see how many other bronzers contain this ingredient?
She's smooth. You see that little oil like cascading at the top? That definitely tells me there's an oil binding system. So
you see the oil cascading at the top? I don't see anything cascading. The word cascading, a waterfall cascades. I can't do it.
My next instinct as a product developer is the lightest shade going to go warm. Because if the lightest shade goes warm, what are my fair skin beauty queens going to do? I feel bad. Wow. Interestingly, this does go a little orange.
Well, also fair skin tones also need warmth.
It makes me violent. My next instinct as a product developer is to swatch the lightest shade. It's happened so fast. It's such a drive-by. And I think the jig is up. In the beginning, we were all like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But now I watch it and I go, what in God's tarnation are you talking about?
Yeah.
What is happening? My instinct as a product developer is to swatch the lightest shade.
And see if it's warm.
Influencers have been swatching every shade since the dawn of the internet. It's politician speak. It's like politicians. That's our opinion on all of this now that it's...
I think that this is all now coming to a head where we can't ignore it anymore. And it's not, and I want to reiterate my point now that my excitement in the last episode and everything was genuine. I was excited to see something that we don't get to see every day going into Sephora and Ulta.
Yes.
That like when I go shopping for makeup in makeup stores, I don't see these things as like, I'm like, oh, I was really genuinely like, this could be something. And then the more I like sat with it, it was like, my birthday clown taking off all the makeup and seeing the real clown.
Yeah.
It was my smile started to dim the day I left here because I was not excited because I didn't touch the product when I got home. I didn't use it in a look. I haven't done anything.
And I repeat, not knowing any of the context behind it. The address, State of the Union wasn't out yet. I didn't even know the shipping model, the whole 9 yards. You brought it over. We opened the box. It was as if the Lipstick Lesbians came in my house while we were filming and slid this tin under the door.
Yeah.
And I still...
saying Michaela got a divorce and here's our new product.
The reason I also wanted to bring up the conversation about their content in general and like how we've been feeling for a long time is I think when you look at that, this doesn't surprise me because I think there's a big difference between a makeup manufacturer and a makeup product developer and a makeup artist and a makeup consumer. Those are 4 different people. And who do I think can speak to makeup users better any day of the week? A makeup artist over a product developer. I think there's a time and place for that, but you haven't stayed in that lane. You have crossed over, arrogantly I might add, into the lane of we know better than makeup artists, consumers, and other brands, because we're going to take this product they rejected. We're braver than them. It's off the charts. And I think this was a huge flop in every way, shape, and form. And not only does it not make me excited for what they're going to do next based on how they said they're going to do it, if you do make something from scratch and do the work yourself and give us a finished product, I'm totally turned off from trying anything from the brand again.
Yeah, at this point, the taste in everybody's mouth, I think, is a collective experience that we're all just kind of, we have a sour taste in our mouth just based on the reaction of them.
You yelling at me for not liking the product you made me pay for to try.
Yeah. And even, you know, I think stepping back and putting them aside, if anybody else put this product out, how we would have judged it. I think I would have had the same reaction no matter who it was.
Completely.
But I think it was worse knowing that the messaging behind the brand itself was so poor.
Was any of the complaints you do have, you're wrong.
Yeah, you don't know how to use it.
Is wild.
You're not smart enough to get this.
Exactly.
You'll get it. It's Mean Girls.
Yes.
It's just you're not smart enough to understand how to use this. One day you'll understand when you grow up.
It'll be as big as the selfie. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Make sure to subscribe to the Patreon. We will see you next week. Wherever you are, we hope you're happy, safe, and healthy. And remember,
you are beautiful.
Bye, guys.
Bye.